Elon Musk talks about a futuristic Tesla Robotaxi.
There's going to be a dedicated Robotaxi that's going to look pretty. It's going to look quite futuristic.
Tesla is going to make a Robotaxi. Most of the biggest names in self-driving cars are also aiming to make money selling Robotaxi service. There is Waymo, Cruise, Amazon owns this, Argo AI, Toyota, and many others. What is a Robotaxi? A Robotaxi, also known as a self-driving taxi, is an autonomous car operated for a ride-sharing company. It can also refer to an autonomous vehicle, an AV, a driverless car, or robotic car, call it Robo-car. And when is a taxi is then called Robotaxi. So this is an AV that is capable of sensing its environment and moving safely with little or no human input. In order to achieve this, self-driving cars combine a variety of sensors to perceive their surroundings. So they use stuff like thermographic cameras, radar, lidar, sonar, GPS, and other onboard hardware and software. Autonomy in vehicles is often categorized in 6 levels, ranging from SAE level 0 to 5. So level 0, cars in level 0 means no automation. So this is like most of the basic cars that we drive where everything relies on the driver. Level 1, hands-on or shared control. So you have like maybe cruise control and a little bit of some of the cars could do like applying the brakes or something like that, accelerating. And level 2 is hands off. Level 3, eyes off. And level 4, mind off. And level 5, steering wheel is optional. So that's the full level of autonomous cars. For robotaxis, it has to be SAE automation level 4 or 5. Meaning for robotaxis, it's either mind off, you can go to sleep, or steering wheel is optional. So what is the current state of the robotaxi market? As of March 2022, vehicles operating at level 3 and above still remain a small portion of the market. In December 2020, Waymo became the first service provider to offer driverless taxi rides to the general public in parts of Phoenix, Arizona. In March 2021, Honda became the first manufacturer to provide a legally approved level 3 car. And Toyota operated a potentially level 4 service around the Tokyo 2020 Olympic Village. And in December 2021, Mercedes-Benz became the second manufacturer to receive legal approval for a level 3 car complying with legal requirements. And then comes February 2022, GM's Cruise became the second service provider to offer driverless taxi rides to the general public in San Francisco in the US. So, how do robotaxis work? So, as we see, robotaxis are gaining steam, but robotaxis work in a way that advanced control systems in robotaxis. They interpret sensory information to identify appropriate navigation paths, relevant signage on their way, and as well as obstacles to avoid. But for you to see how robotaxis work, take a look at the advances made by Mobileye, an Intel company which develops autonomous driving technologies and advanced driver assistance systems, including cameras, computer chips, and software. Please watch.
Hi everyone. Last time we uploaded a video, it was from New York City, driving the busy roads of Manhattan. Today, I'm going to take you for a ride with our Mobileye Robotaxi for the very first time. We debuted this vehicle at IA Mobility in September of last year, and now it's the first time that we are showing you Mobileye Drive in action, our level 4 self-driving system. On the one hand, the computer vision subsystem, on the other hand, a full surround radar lidar subsystem. I hope you'll enjoy the ride. Please come along. Welcome on board, everyone. So let's select the first destination. I'm going to go to New York Square and let's go. So we're driving now to our first destination. Think about this as like ride-hailing rides from the pickup point where we just departed to the drop-off point to our destination in New York Square. Yeah, this is interesting here with the vehicle cutting us off and driving to the right. Now what I would also like to mention is that all of the videos we have uploaded so far were with vehicles equipped with our Mobileye Supervision, our Level 2 Plus premium ADAS solution. And now this is the first time you see our first generation Mobileye Robotaxi, a ride-hailing vehicle in action equipped with Mobileye Drive, our Level 4 self-driving system. And I should also note that this vehicle is actually now in the homologation and the type approval process in Germany, as well as here in Israel. And the goal is, pending regulatory approval, to have them on the road driverless before the end of this year. Now we are driving through Hillel Street. We came from Betzalel, driving through Nachlaot. And this is a pretty narrow road, as you could see. Sometimes, on the left, we were very close. They were only like 15-20 centimeters to the vehicle on the left. And it's a one-way street with some bars and restaurants, people hanging out here. And as you can see, the vehicle is handling it pretty well, and I hope you enjoy the ride so far. So we'll also do some sightseeing today. I'll be your tour guide, and I hope you enjoy the driving, and thanks for watching. We just had the Jerusalem Marathon here in the city. You might still see some signs here and there. As you can see, we have all these speed bumps mapped in the map, and we'll talk a little bit more about that in a bit. So we're driving now towards Mamilla Mall, and Mamilla is another small neighborhood in the eastern part of the city center. And now we're going to turn to the left. This is an unprotected left junction, no traffic lights here. You see a pedestrian crosswalk right in front of us, another pedestrian crosswalk on the left, 2 lanes coming from the left. You see e-scooters, motorcycles, fire vehicle, and 2 lanes coming from the right, 1 turning left. Of course, we'll give priority to everyone else who has the right of way. And we're negotiating with human drivers, and yeah, this guy does an unprotected and illegal U-turn here. A bit crazy. And looks like it's our turn now. Yep. And on the right side we have the Waldorf Astoria, a beautiful old hotel coming up here. And straight ahead we are seeing Manila. So the Manila Mall, if you look to your left, straight left there, that's the kind of main entrance. A little bit of a gate. Yeah, quite a few motorcycles here, and yeah, busy road. So as you can see on the map, we can turn left here, and we'll have time later on to talk about the technology and about the system a bit more. So the old city is not too far away from here. We'll show you around in a bit. We're going to drive by the old city walls. But first we're going to turn left here and then turn left again into another small neighborhood here in the city center. Yeah, you see the beautiful Manila Mall here on the right. Yeah, we're driving up the hill. And then left again into this small neighborhood. Again, a one-way street and pretty narrow. Yeah, deep urban roads. Yeah, lots of cars parked here on the right and left. And yeah, challenging environment, and as you can see, sometimes it's only like 15-20 centimeters on the right and on the left. And yeah, the vehicle is of course managing it well, as it should be. Yeah, this is pretty advanced driving. On the right side, up this hill, is actually Jaffa Road. We can't drive there. It's blocked for regular traffic. There's only a light rail, public transport basically available on Jaffa Road, which connects to Jaffa Gate and the central bus station. Okay, so we're gonna stop here at our first destination. So this was the first ride-hailing ride with our Mobileye Robotaxi. I hope you enjoyed it. So from here, we're gonna select our next destination. Next destination is Manila Mall. So we're gonna drive to the northern part of Manila Mall, and yeah, basically drop ourselves off there. So this is our second drive. We're gonna zigzag the city a little bit to show you around and show you the performance of our Mobileye Robotaxi, our first ride-hailing experience. Going from different points A to point B, and of course You can use the Move It app to hail the ride and get from A to B once the service is launched. And in Munich, we are partnering with the Six Group, and in addition to the Move It app, in Munich you'll also be able to use the Sixt app to hail the vehicle. I personally think that it's actually very challenging here in Israel and especially in Jerusalem to drive even as a human driver, and therefore it's actually a good testing environment because, you know, if you can drive here and some other very challenging places, then you can drive everywhere. And yeah, we really believe in testing in the most difficult environments is very important. And of course we are, you know, seeing our environment here. We detect everything. You can see, of course, all the cars on the screen here, the motor scooter here ahead of us, and all other road users, including the pedestrians here on the right as we're going up the hill, changing lanes now. And turning right. This is interesting. So pedestrians, yeah, walk on the street and kind of jaywalk here across the vehicle ahead of the vehicle. So of course we'll give them right of way, whether they cross on the crosswalk or not. And yeah, Mobileye is to our right. Yeah, it's getting tight again here. I like these challenging drives. It's fun, and it's great to see the performance of our first Mobileye Robotaxi generation. Okay, so this is actually the northern entrance to the mall. The beautiful Italian restaurant right here next to us. So let's select the next destination. We'll go to Baka. That's in the south of Jerusalem. And this is Route 60, so we came from, let's say, kind of the western side of the city now to the east part. So Route 60 is a north-south connection, and we are driving south. Now here on the left is the old city wall, as you can see. Jaffa Gate is just to our left. Yeah, one of my favorite places is actually Old City. And now we are merging from 2 lanes to 1 here and continuing down this hill. Zion Gate is to our left as we get down this hill. And it's yeah, a beautiful area here also. And to our right, kind of like an artist's district, and yeah, an open air stage. Very often in the summertime, you know, there are concerts and yeah, entertainment going on here. Some beautiful downhill, uphill driving, beautiful turns. At this red light, and as we are driving around the corner, straight ahead actually, up that hill is Yemin Moshe, another old neighborhood. I think it was the first one, or one of the first being built outside the old city walls. And there's a famous windmill in Yemin Moshe, which you might know. Some beautiful old photos actually of Yemin Moshe and the windmill in the snow. And actually we had snow again this year. It's very seldom, but yeah, we had it actually last year and this year. It was beautiful. Okay, driving up this hill, we have the Mount Zion Boutique Hotel coming up here on the left. I think it's closed for renovation right now. And yeah, we're continuing driving south on Route 60. German colony is basically to our right here, another beautiful neighborhood. And yeah, Baka is to the south of German colony. Okay, so this is a cleaning vehicle, so they're cleaning the streets of Jerusalem here, driving very slowly and yeah, maneuvering around the cars, merging to the left, of course paying attention to the surrounding traffic, making sure that it's safe to change the lane. Yeah, this truck was actually almost crossing actually the double solid line, so we moved out of the way a little bit not to be too close to it. So let's talk a little bit about the technology. So our Mobileye Drive has, as I mentioned during the intro, two independent subsystems. Our computer vision, our camera-based subsystem with 11 cameras. We have 7 8-megapixel cameras, and these are, long-range, high-resolution, 8-megapixel cameras, and we have 4 short-range cameras, basically fisheye, full surround, greater than 190 degrees viewing angle, so one in the front, one in the rear, in the center, and then one on each side in the mirrors and the most outer point to have a perfect view of all the surrounding. And basically this camera-based subsystem is capable of performing the driving task. And it's not just the sensors which are unique and independent, but also the compute. So we are using 8 IQ5 high SoCs, which are our own design, so vertically deeply integrated hardware from the SoC to the PCB to the full ECU, all the way to the software and to the sensing. And actually just changed my mind here and selected German colony as our next destination. So just to show you that I can also select a different destination while we are performing a ride. So as I just did, you can just use the app and select a different destination. So now we're making this right turn here, and then we'll talk a bit more about our secondary subsystem. So the secondary subsystem uses radar lidar sensors primarily as an independent sensing state and its own localization, and also the radar lidar based subsystem is completely capable of performing the driving task. And it has its own PCB, so a secondary PCB with its own IQ5 SoCs, and even its own independent power supply. And so we have dual power supply, dual PCBs, dual sensing modalities and sensors, and of course also dual communication with the vehicle with the different actuators. We call this true redundancy, and it is actually inspired by aviation and contributes to a highly robust system. So the more independent a subsystem is, the more robust the overall integrated system is. And in addition to these, two sensing states, one generated by computer vision and the second one generated by radar lidars, both also with its own localization. We have actually a comfort sensing state, which is based on the fusion of all sensor modalities and all sensors, and that's only used for comfort decisions to make more smooth maneuvers and transitions. But this is one of our USPs, a very unique approach, part of our Mobileye Trinity, and we believe this is the best way to reach high safety grade. And now we're gonna reach our next destination here, and then I will continue talking a little bit about the maps, our AV maps we are using. So, okay, we have reached our next destination here in German Colony. This is Emek Rephaim Street, also pretty well known, lots of restaurants here. So let's go to the first station. That's to the north of German Colony, and it's a beautiful entertainment place and great for the kids. Some carousels. Okay, we have an e-scooter here. Seems to be also very interested in our car. Of course, we'll make room for him. Okay, continuing up north, so I ride this bus, paying attention to pedestrians, I let them cross, and scooter as well. Okay, so let's talk about our maps. So our AV maps are completely auto-generated, based on REM, our Road Experience Management road book information, which we are harvesting from way over 1 million connected vehicles, which are sending us about 10 kilobytes per kilometer. That's actually very, very little. And in that 10 kilobytes per kilometer, basically everything you see on the screen, from the the drivable surface, the lanes, the lane markings, the drivable path, as we call it, this thin kind of dotted line there in the center, or about the center of each of these lanes, and also all the connection points, all the pedestrian crosswalks, all the signs, all the semantic information, also about the stop lines and the traffic lights, which traffic light belongs to which lane. Massive amount of information, and of course also all the landmarks and vertical structures and so on we need for centimeter precise localization. And this is something very, very unique, because this map is continuously updated as millions of vehicles on the road send us this information. A lot of it's mostly, I should say, human-driven vehicles currently, And this is a massive competitive advantage. If you think about, all of our competitors, basically they have to send mapping vehicles out. This is also interesting. Some illegal maneuvers here, no problem. And so basically any of our competitors, if they want to go to a new city or a new rural area, they have to send out mapping vehicles. They have to map that area, and by the time they're done mapping, basically the map is already outdated. If you don't have this constant flow, this constant crowdsourced harvesting of information from the actual roads, including then seeing construction sites, other modifications, it's basically impossible to maintain these maps. And everything we do is about safety, number one, and scalability, number two. We believe that this is key to success. And now it's almost a 180-degree turn here to the right, very narrow. Oh, this is very interesting. The lane is blocked, and we're driving around as we should. And the bus gives a sign that we can actually drive through. So it is very tight, but not too tight. And we'll be driving through here and make this maneuver and drive around the bus as well. So a challenging situation even for a human driver, but managed pretty smoothly. And this also showed actually RSS in action, or responsibility sensitive safety, formal model for safety. So we have arrived at our destination, so let's select the next destination. I'm going to go to Honeywell Road from here. Okay, I'm going to pay attention to another jaywalking pedestrian. And RSS is the basis of a new IEEE standard. It's called IEEE 2846. And it does formalize a model for safety, which is very important. Once this is released, regulators from around the world can actually refer to this industry standard like they do, refer to UNECE or ISO or other IEEE standards, which is quite common in the industry. And if you want to learn more about it, actually our CTO, Shai Schwartz, just gave a presentation recently. I recommend you searching that on YouTube and watching that lecture presentation. So it's all about ensuring safety and supporting our scalability efforts. At the end of the day, we want to be the number one partner for automotive manufacturers. As you know, we have already 30 plus and basically all the major brands from around the world as our partners, as our customers, already in the ADAS product segment, and now increasingly also using cloud-based mapping services for enhanced ADAS, and now going into premium ADAS, which is our Mobileye Supervision, which basically is kind of half of Mobileye Drive as a full level 4 self-driving system. Mobileye Supervision is an L2 plus premium ADAS solution with just the primary subsystem with exactly the same cameras, the 11 cameras I explained before. Of course, you can find more about this, as well as in some presentations, for example, from CES 2022 and also last year, 2021. Now you see this bicycle driver here. Of course, making sure that he is safe. Yeah, especially vulnerable road users, pedestrians, bicyclists, e-scooter drivers, but also motorcycle drivers. They need special attention and special priority. Because they are the most vulnerable without any protection around them. Okay, so to our right, Zion Gate, and now, coming up this hill towards Jaffa Gate, and now driving north on Route 60. And now you'll actually have a beautiful view here on the right of Jaffa Gate. And if you have not been to the old city yet, I highly recommend checking it out next time you come to Israel and to Jerusalem. Okay, we'll be turning left here, driving back into the city center, now from the east. Yeah, pretty busy area here. Yeah, sometimes also with buses parked on the right and other cars. Lots of tourists coming to the city. And Mamilla Mall is to our right, and we'll be turning right here and then driving up that hill, but then turn left, and we will see the northwest corner of the old city walls as we are approaching Jaffa Road. Yeah, lots of pedestrians here. Looks like it's a visiting group of tourists. Yeah, we appreciate all the tourists, all the visitors which come and enjoy the city. It's a beautiful city. I mean, I live here now for 3 years, and it's just amazing. Yeah, it is my home city, and it's great. I enjoy it very much so. So we'll be heading now towards another neighborhood and kind of back towards city center with Mea Shearim to our right. And of course we'll stop at this red light, giving priority to the pedestrians. Okay, as we are coming up this hill, we'll be driving left. We cannot drive all the way left into Jaffa Road, but you will see the tracks there of the light rail, which is driving on Jaffa Road. And I'll be showing you my home. It's actually on Jaffa Road. We'll see it as we approach the core city center. So there are 2 lanes here going to the left. We can take any of the 2 lanes. And yeah, Jaffa Road is to our left. Also a famous old post office here to the left, not too far away from here. And then here on the right hand side is that northwestern corner of the old city. Okay, everyone is merging here to the left, becoming 1 lane. So we are driving now towards Haneviim Road. Haneviim is also one of the oldest roads here in the city. Quite a few nice old buildings, beautiful old, villas and old office buildings, which were built on Haneviim. I think back then also some embassies had their homes here. Yeah, quite a nice neighborhood and nice old buildings. Okay, so we'll be reaching our next destination. I hope you enjoyed the ride so far, and I certainly did. I'm, on the road basically 2, 3, 4 hours a day. Try to be test driving, every evening, and also on the weekend sometimes, 10 hours or more testing and driving the program forward with our teams, our colleagues from R&D and product and strategy and EPG, all the hardware development, software development, algo development, services development, and also working closely with Move-it on the MAS platform and apps. In case you have not used Move-it yet, I can recommend to you to download the app and give it a try. Here in Israel you can also pay for your public transport rides. Okay, so we are going to select now our last destination from here. So we'll go to the city center and we'll see Jaffa Road from there again on the western side. Yeah, the roads could be a little bit better here, the road surface, but it's what it is. Okay, of course giving way to the pedestrians, and if they don't decide to cross, we'll continue driving. Yeah, public transport besides the one light rail is primarily done by buses, as you can see here also in front of us, a green bus. Pretty well organized public transportation system with a large main central bus station. Also connections from there with train to Tel Aviv. So we're approaching now our endpoint here, not too far away from here. So we have King George, or Strauss as it's called in this area here, crossing now. So we are crossing Strauss, which is called King George, further down to the south. And it's blocked also there for regular traffic, just open for taxis and buses. And to our right is Mea Shearim, neighborhood with a large Jewish Orthodox community, and we'll be entering basically Mea Shearim to our right. So to our left is Jaffa Road, and actually the building straight ahead there, the tall tower, is where I live. I have the privilege to live in the J Tower, the Jerusalem Tower, which is just around the corner of the Machane Yehuda market. Okay, so here we are arriving to our final destination. Thanks for coming along.
As you saw in the video, Mobileye Robotaxi was able to display human-like driving skills in the very busy streets of Jerusalem. Others are also making huge advances as well. Almost all top players, they like the Robotaxi business plan, because if you sell the ride, you sell the whole automotive value chain. The vehicle, the fuel, the maintenance, insurance, and more. And you control the customer and the revenue for the whole chain. This is a huge growing industry. So we'd like to hear from you. What do you think about the AV industry? Please comment below. And if you have found value from this video, please like and subscribe so you can get content like this coming from Enitech. And until next time when we come your way, this is Enitech. Thank you very much for stopping by. See you.